Troll, the 1986 horror fantasy with the sequel that completely overshadows it, not in a good way, because that is one of the most what the fuck movies I've ever seen, and I love it. Where the sequel is at the top of so bad that it's good mountain, the Mount Rushmore of shit movies, if you will. This movie is much more competent in its storytelling, for the most part. I love the second one so much because of just how insanely batshit the entire experience is. I've never seen the first one. This is a first time watch for me, so let's get into it. Troll. It's modern day 1986. We see a family moving into a new apartment. The daughter, Wendy, she's playing with her ball in the basement when it rolls into this very scary part where like all the laundry is done. And she's like, fuck, well, I guess I'm gonna die having to go and get this ball. She looks around the room like she's never seen a room before, and she hears a little voice in the corner. Then a grungy little hand grabs her. Her older brother comes looking for her, and the troll is playing with the ball. Then he uses this magic ring that he's wearing to turn into Wendy. And this movie does not fuck around. It gets to the trolls immediately. He walks in and the door shuts behind him. She sneaks up on him and he's like, "You stupid little bitch, I hate you." And he runs off. She picks up the ball and we see that ring again. She's telling her mom that she found it. Mom's like, "Wow, how great. No questions, Mom? Really? She just found this exotic, clearly enchanted emerald ring in the basement and you think that's just awesome? You're a bad mom." Dad comes home, he's got a whole mess of cheeseburgers, and she devours hers like a troll. What does a troll eat? Poop. Everybody's looking at her like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And then she runs off. Then we hear the fire alarm going off in the building. The kids end up trampling over one of their neighbors, and the dad tells him that he's sorry. He's like, "Hey, dude, I'm so sorry. We just moved in. Good to meet you. My name is Harry Potter." I swear to God, that's his name. Wendy's acting like a savage. And this pissy neighbor, his name is Peter. He's played by Sonny Bono. He's like, "Listen, man, I'm single, and I like to fuck chicks. And if your kids screw that up for me, I'll fucking kill all of you." Then Harry starts to meet all the other neighbors who live in the building. One's named Barry. He's like a retired Marine. He hates libs. Elaine from Seinfeld. She's in this. Her name is Jeanette. She comes down with her albino boyfriend. Then we meet the old lady, Eunice St. Clair. She's really hot, total gilf. Inside the apartment, Wendy is completely rabid. Somebody needs to get a shotgun and put this bitch down. Then she semi-snaps out of it. Her brother is not buying it. He's like, I don't know what's wrong with this chick. Later that night, Wendy is in bed and she hears some music playing. And it happens to be Peter, who's upstairs partying. And he just got some pussy. The chick he's with seems a little less enthused about the experience. His apartment is fucking awesome, by the way. Wendy gets out of bed and her parents are like, "There's something really wrong with that kid." In the kitchen, bro tells her that she should go back to bed and she tosses him into the wall. She goes into Peter's apartment. Then she turns into a troll and he's like, "Oh, fuck!" Her little troll ring, it has this like needle that pops out of it. She sticks him with that. Meanwhile, her brother is out in the hallway looking for her. By the way, his name is also Harry Potter. He's Harry Potter Jr. I know at the time that it didn't exist, but hearing it now, it's hilarious. Every single time that they say Harry Potter, it's so good. We cut back and we see Peter. He starts bulging and puffing up, and the troll is checking out his porno mags. He turns into this like hairy pod worm kind of thing. It's totally disgusting. It bursts open and all these vines flood the room. "Who's your interior decorator?" "Oh, he's a troll." Wow. Harry Jr.'s coming up the stairs now, and he sure is taking his sweet fucking time. Now all these little creeps are coming out of the enchanted apartment. They're all talking to each other like, I'd love to be a little enchanted freak like these guys. Harry knocks on the apartment, but turns out it's St. Clair's place. He has to come in because he thinks he's about to puke. Dude, you just met her. You're totally blowing this. The troll has changed back into Wendy now. She's petting all the weirdos and then she leaves. St. Clair is painting and she's talking to this weird anthropomorphic mushroom. I don't know how to describe this character other than she's kind of a rude bitch and I think I'm in love with her. Junior's like, "I'm just not sure about this building. Things seem really weird here. I don't like it." She's like, "Okay, well, you can come by my place anytime." Nice. Wendy's out playing in the street when she almost gets hit by a drunk cab driver when this micro man comes out to save her. What do you call smaller human beings these days? I never really know. This is Malcolm. The only other movie I recognize him from was Willow, but I know he's in some... Oh, he's in that Mary-Kate and Ashley movie too. Wendy calls him an elf. Again, I don't know the answer, but I'm pretty sure that you can't call him that. She goes back home and Mom almost catches the troll cranking some hog. And he's watching their neighbor Barry out on the street. Junior tells Mom he thinks that Wendy has gone completely insane. Mom's like, oh, whatever. Weren't they just talking about how f***ed up she was acting? Dad goes into the living room and he cranks some doom metal. For a total square, this guy is like super cool. The song is Summertime Blues by a band called Blue Cheer, and it totally f***ing rips. You should absolutely check this song out. Wendy knocks on Barry's apartment now, which is also super cool. The single bachelor men of this apartment building have the coolest interiors. Guys just knew how to be dudes back in the 80s. I wouldn't be surprised if he shoots guns inside. She asks him what death looks like, and he's like, what? He tries to throw her out, and then she turns troll, which is what I'm gonna start saying every time I get too drunk and start acting feral. Sorry, guys. I just turned troll. The beast took over, man. He grabs a gun and he shoots him, but sorry, dude. Your mortal weapons cannot kill a troll. Troll gets him with the ring, and then Harry hears him scream outside when Wendy comes out and ring zaps him to keep his trap shut. Barry's apartment is now also an enchanted forest. It's full of weirdos and ghouls. They bring Harry in, and he's like, hey, I'm okay, but don't let Wendy in. That girl is f***ed up. The rest of the family is getting ready for dinner, and they've invited Wendy's new friend over. And when Malcolm shows up, they're like, oh boy, you said you were inviting your little friend over. Boo. Malcolm's a pretty good sport about it though. Junior's in bed, he's watching a movie about a dog that's actually a Martian, and he's like, that sounds exactly like my sister. At the dinner table, Wendy asks Malcolm to recite this thing called the Fairy Queen. As he's telling it, all of the ghouls in the building are singing this song. I can't understand a word of it, but I'm enjoying it very much. Even St. Clair and her mushroom are in on it. St. Clair's apartment is full of all kinds of weird shit, and she looks super concerned. Then we see this hilarious painting on the wall. Like, who the fuck is this guy? She's like, oh no, it's starting again. And then she blows this horn, which sends Wendy into a fit. Next morning, Junior's like, I'm gonna go see Miss St. Clair. Nice. He asks her what's up with all the weird stuff that she has. And then he asks her if she's a witch. Cut to Jeanette. She opens the door and Wendy gives her flowers. She's like, wow, you're hot. And she is. She's like, I have to get ready for an audition, but you can hang out in here. Why are people letting this strange feral girl into their apartments? St. Clair starts talking about how she was married to some dude a long time ago. Junior asks her if she can teach him to be a magician. She's like, nah. But also, what's your weird sister been up to? He's like, I don't know. She's not my sister. I think she's an alien. Jeanette's apartment is now a forest, and she comes out looking like a forest nymph. St. Clair says that his sister is something way worse than an alien. Now get out of my apartment. The troll sees albino boyfriend in the hallway, and he hides when Malcolm comes up. They're worried about Jeanette, but she's inside being a weirdo. The door opens and boyfriend comes in, and he chases her into an actual forest, and she keeps turning into this weird yellow thing. Then her and her new troll boyfriend zap her. Sorry, dude, your girlfriend's been trolled. Trolled.com. Wendy meets Malcolm in the hall, and he's locked himself out, but she opens the door right up, and he's like, what the hell? This girl's gonna be a great locksmith one day. He tells her that he is really sick and that he's actually dying. And then she asks him, well, would you ever want to be an elf? He's like, I actually used to daydream about being magic when I was younger. So she turns troll and she pulls out her ring. St. Clair knocks on Malcolm's door, but he is a pod thing now. And then he comes out and he's this little elf version of himself, and he's super swole. It's weird, it's uncanny. I love the shit out of it. St. Clair starts knocking on all the doors, but everyone is freaks now. There's nobody left except for the Potter family. Dad comes out and she says some weird stuff, and he's like, what in the hell? Junior is inside waiting for Wendy. He's like, Dad, I'm telling you, she's a monster. Next, we see the family eating lunch. Wendy tries to set Junior on fire. We see a weird ghoul come out of an apartment, and they go up to St. Clair's place, but she zaps him through the door. The kids, they share a room. Junior starts to see the shadow of the troll, but when he looks over, it's Wendy. But then he looks over again, and it's the troll, and then it's Wendy again. In the morning, she is totally gone. He heads upstairs, and then the vines start crawling out of all of the apartments. He makes it into St. Clair's. She shows him a pic of the troll in this book that she has. His name is Turok.
I am Turok!
Then she shows a pic of her and some ugly dude, which I guess was Turok. So if I have this right, Turok used to be a human. She was married to him. Now he's a troll. Apparently, back in the day, from what I understood, trolls and humans went to war together, Turok leading the trolls, and this war has been going on forever. St. Clair's job, she's like a witch or a magician or something, she stops him. He's always trying to do this, and it's her job to stop his ugly ass. She says that he's starting to build his own little weirdo universe inside the building. So she gives Junior a spear to stab the biggest, meanest weirdo that he can find. He's like, okay, I love you. She lets down her hair, and now she's an even younger, hotter version of herself. She heads outside. Junior posts up in the apartment. Dad's like, I should have never had kids. St. Clair blasts open an apartment and heads into the deep forest. She's like, come on out, Turok, you ugly fucker. A big giant beast sneaks up on her, and it steals her spear. She runs out before it can kill her. But outside, all the freaking ghouls are everywhere. She goes back into her apartment and grabs a sword, but there's Troll, and he zaps her ass. Junior heads out now, and the building is covered in vines and fog. He gets sucked into St. Clair's apartment, and she is now a stump. And she's like, it's up to you. You've got to do it now, Junior. Harry Potter Jr. Mom and Dad open up the door, and all of the creeps are outside. Junior is running around in this forest until he finally finds Wendy. She's in this invisible box like Sleeping Beauty. He touches the box with the spear, and it opens. He picks her up, but then a giant bat beast shows up. It's like something out of Berserk. And then Troll's there too. Troll grabs the spear. The whole apartment is alive now, and people are freaking out outside. The beast is chasing them and throwing stuff at them. He tosses Junior aside. He goes to grab Wendy, and Troll's like, no! And he throws the spear at it, and it's all electrified. Everything is going to shit. They run out and into their apartment, and then everything stops. Everybody embraces. The building is all back to normal. Next thing we see is them grabbing all their shit and getting the fuck out. See you later, guys. We're moving. How long were they there? Like 2 days? They pile into the car. Dad is completely shell-shocked. 2 cops go to check out the building. One goes into the basement like a fucking idiot. And then he gets sucked into the forest where Troll's absent. The end. Okay, so there's a lot to love here. There's also a lot to what the fuck here. One thing that I love is this horror fantasy. It's super original. It's very unique. In modern day, a troll changes into a girl to then change a whole apartment building into his domain in an attempt to take over the world for all of troll kind, which he's done a few times, I guess. And then there's this witch that I guess he used to be married to. She's there to stop him. It's super weird, but I admire the creativity. I love all of in this building, the apartment interiors, before and after they're changed. Just great. Whenever all of the vines, they just turn into this magical enchanted forest inside. Amazing. I think that these sets are really well done. I love all the puppets. They're not really great. I've seen a lot better, but they're fun. They're very wild, pretty gross looking. The Malcolm elf was a complete abomination. I'll never stop laughing at the fact that it's Harry Potter and Harry Potter Jr. It was never not funny. Every time a character said it, I laughed at it. I don't think that the movie really has a whole lot of underlying themes, or this is a story about something different. I think it's pretty straightforward for the most part. But one of the more interesting aspects to it was the trolls' affinity. Is that the right word? I don't know. But when Malcolm is telling him that he's dying and oh, when I was younger, I used to dream about being magic, or I think I could be an elf. That would be kind of cool. Troll really feels for him. He cares about that, and then he turns him into an elf. He's like, you know what? This world has been nothing but cruel to you, and people have been cruel to you, so you get to come and live in my troll kingdom. Come with me, elf man. It's the one time where the troll actually has some kind of moment of compassion, whereas everybody else in the building, he is just You're going. Like, some of them I could kind of see, like, Peter is a shithead, Barry seems like kind of an ass. But, like, Jeanette and her boyfriend, what did they do? I don't understand. But then with Malcolm, he's like, it's different for you, man, because we're the same height. I don't know. I guess outside of that, he also does, like, care about Wendy. He was, like, pissed off when he thought that monster was going to kill her at the end. That's why he, like, stopped everything. I am really curious as to what happened to all of them at the end. The building stopped changing. I'm assuming that maybe some of them changed back, but, like, Barry was a pod that exploded. And, like, did they all just stay ghouls? Like, is that who all the other ghouls were? Were they previous tenants in the apartment building? And Turok just waits for people to move into the building so he can then turn them into little creepy weirdos. How does this work? Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Who gives a shit, right? But I just think it's just something that I was asking. I gotta ask some questions around here. Is Malcolm still an elf? That would be super cruel if he got changed back to the dying micro person that he is. I don't know. But if he came back, it would be pretty shit for Malcolm to have to return to his dying body. After being turned into a magical elf. I think that kind of sucks. I think I'm actually maybe on Turok's side. I'm also definitely thinking about this too deeply. If you're looking for a weird, enjoyable, unique 80s horror fantasy, you can't go wrong here. Check out Troll. No link to the second one whatsoever that I could tell, other than there are trolls in it. That's about it. But I don't think this story carries over at all. But yeah, this was fun. I enjoyed this. But what do you think? Have you watched Troll? Let me know your thoughts down below. Be sure to like this video, subscribe for more, and as always, thanks for watching. Bye. Mwah.